Let's go for a walk. So I'm going to give you some rules for travel photography, and the number one rule is you may not find the best shot, but there's no such things as wrong turns. Okay. So I got out thinking I was going to find a creek here, and yeah, so that was a bad idea, but it's okay, because it's not about finding the most fantastic, amazing shot possible, but about just having a good time, exploring and see what you come across, because that's really the only way that you're going to discover something great and something new, you know? I mean, if you just do what everybody else does, if you just go to the same old place, that all the tourists are going to go to, then yeah, well, I mean, you're going to probably have an iconic shot. Whew, hey, I can see you better. But you're not necessarily going to have anything that just stands out. You're not going to have anything that's truly yours. So another rule about travel photography is do not be afraid to explore. Don't make any dumb choices. Like, don't drive somewhere where you need a four-wheel drive and you're driving a Fiat or something. But don't be afraid to turn off the main road and drive around a little bit, and don't be terrified of even getting lost. You'll eventually find your way out, you know, and worst case scenario, you just backtrack and go back the way you came. This is just a road I found by turning on it. Okay guys, so we're at a little overlook. I don't know if you can even see it, but the road's over there. Here's another lesson for you in terms of travel photography and how to do it right, exploring around and whatever. So my goal is actually, I think it's called Black Rock, and it's about 3 hours that way, maybe about 2.5 hours that way. And you can see that, well, I've stopped. And this is the thing about stopping. And this is the thing about your goal. You set a goal and you make it, you don't make it, doesn't matter, you know, because it's not really about making the goal. I may get all the way up there and discover that there's not a great shot there anyway. So why would I not stop here when I think I've got a pretty good one? And even if it doesn't turn out to be good, why would you not stop and, you know, take a look around? That's what this is all about. Again, it's not about getting that best, greatest shot. It's just about looking around, exploring, having fun, doing what you came out here to do. And it just doesn't get much better than this. I mean, so here's another rule of exploratory photography, travel exploring photography. Don't be afraid to leave your vehicle behind. You'll find it. It may take a little bit of looking, but you'll find it. Like, see, there it is. Way over there. Don't ever be afraid to pull off the side of the road. Tip number 5. Okay guys, I'm here in the big city of Gerlach, Nevada, which as you can see isn't really a whole lot of anything. Let's see if I can, always kind of know what your gas gauge is telling you. So right now I think I'm pretty good. I got 3/4 of a tank, but I have not seen a functioning gas station anywhere at all. Like nowhere. Okay guys, this is what's called La Playa, which means the beach in Spanish. I don't know why it applies here, but at any rate, this is a dried up lake bed that it's 12 miles to the other side, and if you're brave enough you can drive across that. But as I'm in a rental, and even though that rental does have 4-wheel drive, this goes back to a rule I was talking about earlier: don't do anything stupid. Getting stuck out there, that would be stupid. Okay, one of the things there is to know about photography, and this is rule number 6, 7, 8, whatever I'm on, about travel photography, and this is true of any sort of photography. Just because it's a beautiful sight doesn't make it a great photograph. And you know, this is a beautiful location, and I first set up here, and I'm doing a time-lapse 30-second exposure, trying to get the movement of those clouds way up there, but honestly, I don't think 30 seconds is long enough to get them moving. But I set up here first and shot out there, and you know, one of the rules of going back to what I was saying, the rule of photography is, you know, why did you take the picture? Why? If you say, well, it was just pretty, well, let's be a little bit more intentional. And so, you know, what does this landscape say, and how can you capture this landscape and let it speak for itself and tell a story? And so when I set up here with a long exposure, I thought, you know, the broken, the mud in pieces here, that makes a great story, and the movement of the clouds, if I could actually get the clouds to be moving, it kind of tells two different stories, two conflicting stories all at the same time. You know, the dynamic movement of the sky and the glacial pace of the ground, as it's all, you know, the contradiction that we all live in this thing called life, I suppose, and how the world itself echoes and even teaches the paradox of what we had to say. Well, and all that was well and good, and maybe a bit esoteric for just a landscape photograph, but I certainly don't think so. I wouldn't be doing it if I thought so. But so, and I was pleased with that story, but I came out here and because I saw these tire tracks, and I thought, you know, I bet you that captures an even better story, because you see the tire tracks are just fading off to the horizon, and what an element that brings to the story, the dynamics of the sky with the permanence of the ground. And here we are, just making our way through it all, making our way through all the contradictions, making our way through all the nonsense and the paradox. And if that's not a good metaphor for life, you know, I guess I'm just out of them. Thanks. But note to self, everything in Nevada is a lot further away than it looks. Well, I decided to go a little bit higher. I was just right down there at that rock. And I don't know if you can see it, but the bean substitute is that big black thing. Okay guys, we are stopped along the side of the road and I actually have to wait because there's a car. And look at that, there's another one coming. Hey. Okay, so I'm stopping to take another picture of kind of the same mountain I just photographed. I'm certain I've already showed it to you. But I want to stop this time. I was shooting with a wide angle before. And I want to get a good telephoto on this. Sometimes these landscape shots, actually look better when you use a telephoto, when you get up close and personal and let the mountain say, how you doing? So rule number 28 and 32, don't be ashamed to stop and take a picture of the same subject twice. And oh yeah, the other one, telephoto, pretty good. And don't forget to bring your ND filter for a different size lens. I left mine at home. Kind of sucks. Woo! That's a few more lessons on exploratory travel photography. Two things. One, if you go to the trouble of renting a four-wheel drive vehicle, use it. Okay guys, well, our lessons continue. This is lesson, we'll say 43. 43 is a good number. So, see where I parked? This is a shot that I'm hoping is there, but I don't know a couple of things. So, lesson 43, take a risk, okay? So we're going down there, and what I'm hoping is that little watery area down there will provide a brilliant reflection for the mountains. But a couple of things here, and this is the take risk part. I don't know if I can get there. I don't know if there's a fence between me and there. I don't know if I can even walk out that far. And I don't know how far away that even is. It is, I think, near impossible to judge distances out here. I do know that I am in some sort of open range cattle area. There's some cow poop here and there, and I see some cows here and there. But outside of that, you know, this is just a big unknown. So lesson 43, take a chance. Who knows? It may be the greatest thing you find. It may be a waste of time. But either way, it's gonna be fun. All right. Well, I guess if a cow gets sick out here, this is what becomes of it. Well, here we go. So I'm not terribly far away from where I started this whole day. Okay, I think we're gonna have to look around a little bit to find an actual composition. Remember, just because it looks pretty doesn't mean that it makes for a great photograph. But the day's getting old and I'm getting tired. We may start compromising.
Come back next week. See if I survive this.